The 20-minute video you're about to watch is a collaborative effort between IAFF Locals 4416 and 4444, the Hamilton County and Noblesville Communications Centers, and the Hamilton County Fire Chiefs Association. The Joint Health and Safety Committee has been tasked with developing SOGs for all firefighters, both career and volunteer, regardless of jurisdiction in Hamilton County to operate with. The first three countywide SOGs that will be presented to you in this video include handling the Mayday, the use of alert tones, and emergency button response. In all, nearly 500 firefighters serve the citizens and visitors of Hamilton County. Each day we answer the call and expect to return home to our families at the end of our shift. Last year, 4 firefighters from this state did not. Much of the information in this presentation is new. Take it seriously, train regularly, and provide feedback so we can move the fire service forward in Hamilton County.
This video will outline the first of 3 new county-wide SOGs, including the topics of Mayday, alert tones, and emergency button activation. Each SOG will be introduced with 1 or more examples of simulated radio traffic encompassing the newly presented information immediately following the related SOG. A series of flowcharts highlight various responsibilities throughout the video. These colors will remain constant. Text and flowcharts in yellow represent tasks to be completed by the firefighter. Text and flowcharts in green represent tasks to be completed by command. Text and flowcharts in orange represent tasks to be completed by the communications center. Standard Operating Guideline, or Mayday. Purpose: to systematically establish criteria for Mayday operations and standardize the language and guidelines throughout Hamilton County emergency responders and dispatch agencies. Definition: Mayday is the singular most important traffic on the radio. The Mayday signal may be given by any fire department member who may be lost, disoriented, trapped, or in imminent danger and in need of immediate assistance. A Mayday may be transmitted by anyone on the fire ground, on behalf of another company, or by a firefighter in distress. Command, control, and all units operating on the fire ground will respond in accordance to the Mayday SOG. A Mayday shall be declared, but is not limited to the following situations. Any situation that you deem life-threatening that falls outside the scope of normal fireground operations. If a firefighter becomes trapped or pinned, if a firefighter falls through a roof or floor, if a firefighter is caught in a flashover, you become separated from your crew for more than 60 seconds. Zero visibility with no hose line, search rope, and/or direction out unknown. Primary exit blocked and not at a second exit in 30 seconds. Low air alarm, not an exit in 60 seconds. Cannot find door or window to exit. Wire entanglement. Mayday continued. Endangered firefighter procedure. If a life-threatening emergency occurs during an incident or training, the firefighter shall take any and all means necessary to communicate their Mayday via portable radio. Options for the firefighter shall include 1. Activation of their emergency button followed with verbal information, and 2. Verbal communication without the use of the emergency button. Upon activation of the emergency button, the portable radio and emergency status shall have both an open mic for a duration of 5 seconds and priority on the fire ground. These features make the use of the emergency button the preferred method of notification for a firefighter in distress. Upon activation of the emergency button on a specific portable radio, the emergency button activation will be transmitted on the talk group selected at the time of activation. Activate your radio's red emergency button and communicate the following information. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Location you are in, the unit or apparatus number you are with, your name, assignment you've been given, resources needed. Then immediately activate your pass device manual mode, calm down, orient yourself to the situation and your location, maintain communication with surrounding crews and the incident commander, solve the problem yourself. Mayday continued. Command procedure. Command will maintain an awareness of the location of responders on the fire ground, primarily through assignments in the accountability system. Upon receipt of an emergency button activation or verbal declaration of a Mayday, the incident commander shall immediately perform the following actions. Initiate contact with downed firefighter and verify declaration of a Mayday with control. Activate the RIT team. Notify control that a Mayday has been declared and request emergency traffic only. Incident commanders are encouraged to verbalize the specific companies he or she wants to communicate via radio. All other companies operating on the fireground shall only communicate emergency traffic to ensure the incident commander can maintain communication with the distressed firefighter and the RIT team. IC shall attempt to maintain fireground and Mayday operations on the originally assigned fireground. Subsequent incident command priorities include expanding command organization as needed, consider medical operations, consider additional alarms or companies, consider family support officer, consider member support, CISD team, consider a PIO, consider rotation and evaluation of affected personnel. Communication Center Procedure. Upon any emergency button activation, regardless of jurisdiction, all consoles in the 3 communication centers in Hamilton County, including Carmel, Noblesville, and Hamilton County, will receive both audible and visual information regarding the emergency button activation. Upon receipt of this information, personnel in these centers shall contact and confirm with the incident commander that the Mayday has been received. Communication Center personnel shall understand that due to operational conditions firefighters may encounter, their portable radios may transmit on a channel other than the incident-specific assigned fireground. At any time, Communication Center personnel must inform the incident commander of any emergency traffic, declaration of a Mayday, or other verbal communication from a distressed firefighter on a channel other than the assigned fireground. Immediate Communication Center priorities. Confirm receipt of the Mayday with the IC. Communications personnel shall inform the IC at any time they believe a firefighter is attempting to communicate that they are in distress, including multiple key-ups, broken Mayday, or lunar info. Activate the emergency alert tone. Verbalize Mayday has been declared on the fireground, and repeat lunar information and declare emergency traffic only. Dispatch an additional alarm assignment, monitor the Mayday, and support the IC as necessary.
Charlie Delta Corner. My internet to firefighter Smith. I'm getting ready to put the ceiling in the corners to my laser page. I need some heavy lifting equipment.
Command's clear. Firefighter Smith, ladder 92. You're on the second floor of the Charlie Delta Corner. Good on air, but your legs are pinned from ceiling collapse. You're in need of lifting assistance. Patrol, give me an emergency alert on Mayday on the fireground.
Attention all companies working Governor's Lane. Firefighter Smith, ladder 92, is trapped on the second floor of the Charlie Delta Corner. All units operating on Fireground 1 shall initiate emergency traffic only.
Engine 95 from command. Go ahead for engine 95. Engine 95, report to the second floor, Charlie Delta Corner. Locate Firefighter Smith. Maintain his air supply unit until arrival of the RIT team with the lifting equipment.
Command to control.
Yeah, control.
Your second alarm assignment's been dispatched. Can you assign staging location?
I see the second alarm has been dispatched. Staging location for second alarm will be Governor's Lane and Maple Street.
Clear on Governor's Lane and Maple Street. 1516 Earth.
Alert tones. Description. Each public safety answering point in Hamilton County, including Carmel, Noblesville, and Hamilton County Control, shall be capable of producing a minimum of 2 standard primary alert tones for use in emergency response and incident operations throughout the county. Emergency response and operations include but are not limited to fires, rescues, hazardous material, and medical emergency incidents. Command, control, and all units operating on the defined radio system shall act in accordance to this SOG. Emergency tone. The emergency alert tone shall be used anytime there is an immediate threat to responder safety that must be transmitted to all responders responding to or participating in the incident. This may also be referred to as the shut up and listen tone. Examples of immediate threats to responder safety include Mayday, lost, down, or missing responder, emergency evacuations, responders in imminent danger. Emergency tone, Mayday. Responders determine a threat to their safety should attempt to activate their emergency button, declare a Mayday, and provide lunar info. The incident commander shall confirm and acknowledge the lunar info and request an emergency tone. The communications center shall activate the emergency alert tone, repeat lunar info, and declare emergency traffic only. Emergency tone, emergency evacuation. When the incident commander identifies the need to evacuate a building, he or she must contact control and request an emergency alert tone to evacuate the building and ensure that the universal air horn blasts from a fire apparatus are activated. When the dispatcher is notified of an emergency evacuation by the IC, activate the emergency tone and provide the information from the IC regarding the reason for the evacuation. Information tone. This tone is intended to be used anytime important information must be transmitted to responders. It can be initiated by either communications personnel or responders. Examples of communications-initiated information tones include emergency button activations, upgraded incidents, working fires, confirmed entrapment of technical rescues including motor vehicle, trench, structural collapse, or confined space. Examples of firefighter-initiated information tones include unsafe scenes, down power lines, unsafe road conditions, uncontrolled animals.
Command and control, receiving multiple inaudible KEFs and an EVA from engine 94B. No further contact.
Command's clear. Declaring Mayday for engine 94B until we make verbal or physical contact with them. Patrol, give me an emergency tone, Mayday on the fire ground, please.
Attention all companies working Toll House Way. Emergency button activation from engine 94B. Without verbal communication. All units operating on Fireground 1 shall initiate emergency traffic only.
Command Bravo Division.
Go ahead, Bravo.
I've got heavy damage to structural members on the Bravo side. Imminent collapse possible. Recommending an emergency evacuation.
Command is clear. Heavy damage to structural members on the Bravo side. Imminent collapse possible. Recommending an emergency evacuation. Patrol, please give me an emergency tone for the emergency evacuation.
Attention all companies working Alston Drive. Evacuate the structure immediately. Imminent building collapse possible. Attention all companies working Alston Drive. Evacuate the structure immediately. Imminent collapse possible at 14:26 hours.
Command Charlie Division.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Since we repositioned Engine 91 and Engine 93 about 5 minutes ago, we haven't made any progress in suppressing the fire in the attic. Ceilings are opened up, we've got good access, and 2 hand lines are having little effect. Recommending a shift to the defensive strategy.
Command's clear. Engine 91 and Engine 93 are having little effect in suppressing the fire in the attic. We're recommending a shift to the defensive strategy. Patrol, give me an information tone, switching to defensive strategy.
Attention all companies working Cumberland Road, switching to defensive strategy. All companies working Cumberland Road, switching to defensive strategy at 15:13 hours.
Control Engine 93.
Engine 93.
Engine 93 on the scene, 116th Street in Allisonville. 2-car serious PI with entrapment. Engine 93 is sending 116th Street command on Fireground 1.
Engine 93 on the scene, 116th in Allisonville. It's a 2-car series PI with entrapment. Engine 93 is sending 116th Street command on Fireground 1.
Control engine 95.
Engine 95.
Engine 95 on the scene, 131st and 37 with 3-car minor PI. Engine 95 assuming 131st Street Command on Fireground 1.
Engine 95 on the scene, 131st and 37 with a 3-car minor PI. Engine 95 assuming 131st Street Command on Fireground 1, 0845 hours.
Control 131st Street Command.
Go ahead.
Give me an information tone for live wires down immediately west of our location.
Authority 131st Street Command, all companies responding 131st and 37, use caution, live electrical wires down just west of the incident scene. All companies responding 131st and 37, use caution, live electrical wires down just west of the scene, 0846 hours.
Emergency button activation. Purpose: to systematically establish criteria ensuring the safety of Hamilton County emergency responders in conjunction with the emergency button activation via portable radios. Definition: an emergency button shall be provided and maintained on all portable radios distributed to fire personnel within Hamilton County. The emergency button shall be activated when a responder encounters a situation that immediately affects their safety. Upon activation of the emergency button, the portable radio in emergency status shall have both an open mic for a duration of 5 seconds and priority on the radio system. Upon emergency button activation on a specific portable radio, the emergency button activation will be transmitted on the channel selected at the time of activation. When an emergency button is activated, communications personnel shall follow the procedures outlined in this SOG. The emergency button activation shall only be cleared by communications personnel at the PSAP in which the incident occurs. For responder safety, Communications Center personnel will not, under any circumstances, ask any unit if they have an emergency. Command, control, and all units operating on the fire ground will respond in accordance to this SOG. Emergency button activation. Scenes without an incident commander. Emergency button activations that occur in situations where an IC is not on the scene can include but are not limited to EMS scenes, hostile environments, apparatus involved in MVAs, situations that do not allow a verbal request for assistance. In these situations, Communications Center personnel will play a critical role in determining the credibility of the emergency button activation and if a true threat to firefighters' safety exists, responder care. Emergency button activation via portable radio, Engine 91A on County EMS. Communications personnel shall attempt to communicate with Engine 91A on County EMS 3 times within a duration of 60 seconds. 1 additional attempt shall be made on control. Each message shall be preceded with the information tone. If the EBA is accidental, Engine 91A confirms by stating Engine 91 has PAR. PAR is the key word to clear the emergency. If no response is received, communications personnel shall declare the unit in emergency status and immediately dispatch the next available fire apparatus that duplicates the initial call type, battalion chief, and a law enforcement contingent. Units shall be dispatched to a staging area near the last known location of the unit involved in the emergency. These units should be assigned a different channel from the units in emergency status. In situations where an unsafe scene may exist, the same location should not be responded to until law enforcement can determine if the scene is safe. Emergency button activation. Scenes with an incident commander. Emergency button activations that occur in situations where an incident commander is present can include but are not limited to working fires, serious PIs, technical rescue incidents, commercial alarms. In these situations, when an emergency button is activated, Communications Center personnel shall notify and support the incident commander as necessary. Emergency button activation via portable radio, Engine 91A on Fireground 1. If a unit operating a portable radio is assigned to a working fire and enters emergency status without verbal declaration of distress or a Mayday, communications personnel shall immediately contact the IC on the fire ground and inform him or her of the radio alias and emergency status and any other important information, including multiple key-ups. The incident commander shall then attempt to contact the radio user, and without success shall declare a Mayday for the endangered unit until it can be proven otherwise.
Engine 91A, County Control on County EMS. Engine 91A, County Control on County EMS. Engine 91A, County Control on County EMS. Engine 91A, County Control on County Control. Medic 94, Engine 93, Battalion 9. Medic 94, Engine 93, Battalion 9, on emergency vet and response, 12617, Marquette Drive. Medic 94, Engine 93, Battalion 9, on emergency vet and response, 12617, Marquette Drive. Sergeant 91 Edward, signed Fireground 2, 14:15 hours. Medic 94, Engine 93, Battalion 9, you're responding to an emergency button activation from Engine 91A. Engine 91A was dispatched to the location for an unknown medical problem and has been on scene for approximately 6 minutes. Law enforcement is responding emergent.
This life-saving program is the result of a collaborative effort between Hamilton County Firefighters, Local 4416, Carmel Firefighters, Local 4444, and the Hamilton County Public Safety Communications Department. This best practice identifies a consistent and standardized systems approach to firefighter rescue. When we commit ourselves to harm's way, we also indirectly commit our families to harm's way. This training program will result in the reduction of injuries and loss of rescue personnel in the line of duty. On behalf of the Hamilton County Fire Chiefs Roundtable, please accept our sincere appreciation for a job well done and your commitment to safety and effectiveness. Thank you.